everybody, welcome back to How to Bake That. My name's Natalie, and this week I'm going to show you how to bake a banana cream pie using this pie cookbook which I got from Williams-Sonoma. Now let's get on with the video. The things you will need to make the wafer cookie crust will be 4½ cups vanilla wafer cookies crushed, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 teaspoon kosher salt, and 1/2 cup unsalted butter, melted and cooled. So this recipe is made for a 9-inch pie dish that is not deep dish. So if yours is smaller or larger, you might want to adjust the quantities to what suits your pan. The first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Once your oven is preheating, you want to crush up your vanilla wafers in a food processor. Well, I use the Vitamix, or with a knife until fine crumbs form. Once your crumbs have formed, you want to add in sugar and your salt to the crumbs, and you can either still use your Vitamix or food processor if you have it, or you can do what I will be doing and just toss it around with your hands. Okay. Once your sugar and salt are added, it should look like this. And now what you want to do is add in your butter until the mixture resembles wet sand. Now if you're doing this by hand, you might want gloves for this because it can get quite messy. Now what you want to do is take your mixture and put it in the bottom and up the sides of your pan until compact. You want to try and get a thick and even layer on the bottom here so that nothing burns. Now we're ready to go up the sides. So this part is a little bit tricky, so all you want to do is pile it up on the sides and take your fingers and try and push it up on the sides. So once your pan has been evenly coated with your crumbs, it should look like this, and it should have an even layer on the bottom and on the sides. And now what you want to do is bake it in your preheated oven for about 10 minutes or until it is golden brown. Make sure that you put your pie on the bottom rack or center rack of your oven, not the top rack. "10 minutes later." Ah, yes. Completely done. It's hardened, that's good. And as you can see, it has browned a little bit. Look at that. The things you will need to make the filling for this pie will be 4 bananas, 3 cups whole milk, 1 stick of unsalted butter, 1/4 cup light packed brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon ground allspice, 1/2 teaspoon ground nutmeg, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1/3 cup cornstarch, 4 large egg yolks, 2/3 cup granulated sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon kosher salt, and 1 vanilla bean. Now I'm going to show you how to separate your eggs. So all we need is 4 egg yolks. So we have our egg here, and for those of you who do not know how to do this, I'm going to show you now. So all you do is crack it like you normally would, and take it and make sure the crack is not on the bottom but on the top. And make sure your yolk is in one side. And you might need a separate bowl for this. And now you have your yolks. And then all you need to do, so your whites are in the bottom, then this bowl, and then you want to plop your yolks in the other bowl, and then you just want to do those with the other eggs. So now what we want to do is cut our bananas in half crosswise, but you want to leave 2 and set them aside whole. Now that we have ours crosswise, what we want to do is take them and cut them into thin slices. This part you probably want to discard because I don't think anyone wants to eat that. Okay, so all of our bananas are now cut, and for the next thing we need to go over to the stove. Now what you want to do over medium heat is add in your butter. And that is only 4 tablespoons of it, not the whole 6. And then you want to add in your brown sugar. You want to watch out so that you don't get splattered with it. Your allspice and your nutmeg. And then you just want to give that a stir and wait until all of the sugar is dissolved. And then you're going to add in your banana slices and stir gently until the liquid thickens slightly, which is about 2 minutes. So now you want to add in your banana slices. And you just want to gently stir until the liquid has thickened, which will take about 2 minutes. So now that it is all thickened and your bananas are evenly coated, you want to take it off the heat and add in your vanilla extract until your liquid has become a syrup-like consistency. I've poured in my vanilla now, and we're going to just stir it up, and now it is become quite thick and syrupy. So now our mixture is done for this step, and we will now move on. So now we're back on the heat, and we're going to wait until it turns into more of a liquid rather than just clumps. And make sure to constantly stir so that nothing burns on the bottom. So you want this to simmer over the heat, and that will probably take about 4 to 6 minutes for it to reduce to a syrup. So now that our mixture is made, it might not look very good right now, but it is very good. It tastes very good. So what we're going to do is just take some of it and just kind of glop it in the middle. And we're just going to take the back of our spoon and make a thin layer throughout the bottom. You do not need to go up the sides with this, only cover the bottom. So I've put all of my mixture in it, in just a thin layer. It's almost transparent, which is good. It's right there in the middle, and that's all it should look like. So we've cut up our remaining 2 bananas, and now all we have to do is, since they're in thin slices, you want to just arrange them on top of your custard syrup stuff on the bottom. So I put on my bananas, and this is what it looks like. You can arrange them in any form you'd like, but I decided to go with the spiral form. So now in a small bowl, you don't need much, you want your 1/2 cup measurement, and just take 1/2 cup of your milk and combine it with your cornstarch. So we have our whisk here, and all we want to do is just gently whisk it until it's combined. Now you want to add in your yolks, and you want to just whisk those until they're all blended. And then you want to add in your milk mixture and whisk until they are well combined. Now we're ready to head over to the stove again. So now you have your vanilla beans, and you don't want to just stick this whole pod in. So what you want to do is take it and split the whole bean in half, right down the center. Then you're left with this and some other shavings. So there's some black seeds on the inside, and that's what we want. So take your knife and just scrape down the middle until all of those seeds are outside of the pod. And then that's what we will use to make our filling. But you still want to keep your pod because it does provide some flavor. Now in a saucepan over medium-high heat, you want to take your remaining 2 1/2 cups of milk, mix that with your sugar, kosher salt, and your vanilla beans along with the pods. Now you just want to give that a quick stir and let that simmer. And now we wait. So our mixture is simmering, and now all we need to do is turn off the heat and let it stand for 5 minutes. You probably want to make sure that you have a heat-safe bowl like ceramic or glass, so that when you're adding in your hot mixture, it does not burn the bowl. So now our mixture has set for 5 minutes, and now what we need to do is remove all of the vanilla bean pods. So we have our slotted spoon here, and we're just going to go across the bottom and kind of fish for the pods. Now what you want to do is, I've transferred it to a smaller pan with the spout, but all you want to do is pour this into your egg mixture that we made a little bit ago, 1/4 cup at a time, which for me, I'm just going to pour it in a little bit at a time. Okay, now our mixture is combined. Now we have to add it back into the saucepan and go back over to the stove. Make sure that when you're doing this, that you're stirring constantly so that when the eggs cook, they're not cooking through the whole thing and you end up with black pieces of egg. Stir this until it has boiled. So now our mixture has thickened, and it is it's thick enough to coat the spoon. So now what we want to do is get our heat-proof bowl again and run it through a fine mesh sieve. So our mixture is still hot, and while it's still hot, we're going to add in the remaining butter, and we're just going to stir that until it is melted and combined. Okay, so now with a piece of plastic wrap, we're going to put it over top of the mixture, and all we need to do is stick it inside, like press it on the surface of the mixture. Now we want to take our knife and press it in the middle and pierce the wrap so that the steam can escape. Then we're going to let it cool at room temperature. So now our custard has cooled, and now what we're going to do is pour it into our pan with our bananas in it, and then we will let it chill for 2 hours before serving. Now that our filling is in our crust, we're going to make a whipped topping for it. The things you will need to make the whipped cream topping will be 1 cup heavy whipping cream, 1/2 teaspoon pure vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons confectioner's sugar. Now in a stand mixer fitted with your whisk attachment, you want to combine your cream with your vanilla. Now you just want to combine that on low speed. Ready to get that vanilla in there. Alright. Now with your mixer on low speed, you want to slowly add in your sugar until combined. And then you want to raise the speed up until medium-high and beat until soft peaks form, about 2 minutes. So once your mixture is fully whipped, it should look like this. It should have not too stiff of peaks, but it should also be able to stand up on its own like that and not buckle over itself. So now we are ready to put it on top of the pie. So now we have our topping here. And you can either pipe it on or spoon it on, as I will be doing. So just pile the pie high with some whipped cream. Now we are going to take some caramel sauce, this is just ice cream topping, and we're going to drizzle it over our pie. So this is what ours looks like after the caramel has been drizzled on it. I was not going for any particular pattern, but this is how it turned out. So now we need to refrigerate it for 2 hours or overnight before serving. So our pie is out of the fridge. It's been in the fridge for 2 hours now, and I'm going to have my father taste test it for me, and I'm going to cut him a slice.
Greetings. Sure does look good.
I hope it tastes good too.
Can't wait to taste it. Let's see. Sure does look good. A lot of layers here. Cream, banana cream in the middle, some dark stuff, some crust. Let's see. Mmm.
From 1 to 10, how like it?
Scrumptastic. It's very banana-y. You know what? I'm going to give it a, it's banana cream pie. I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Okay. Why'd you reduce a half?
0.5, just maybe it's a little bit too much banana taste, but it is banana cream pie, so I guess that's the way it's supposed to be, huh?
Yes. There's also banana.
But it's delicious. I'm going to eat this whole thing. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Mm.
You enjoy that, Dad.
I will, thank you.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye!